Right then team, been ages since we've done any filming, back in August. It is now second week of February. It's rained all night here in Lincolnshire. It's just been non-stop. We had a weather warning, everything's soaked. 7 degrees right now, and we're going to fish a little knock-up. A few of the club lads just before the season starts proper in sort of March time. A few of us going to go down to our mate Owen's Lake, which is called Lavington Lake in Lenton. Now, I've done a video there before. It was called Fishing in Unknown Water because it was brand new to me at the time, and I've only fished it a few times since. Did a feature there last year with Improve Your Course Fishing. Loads of small fish, rudd, roach, bits and pieces when the weather's warmer, plus the usual stamp carp, F1s, which are grown naturally actually because there's a load of crusions in there as well. So commons, crusions, F1s, perch, roach, rudd. Today though, with all this rain, there is an actual stream that runs through it, so I reckon it's going to be really, really coloured. All these lads that turn up with their bomb and bread and all the rest of it, I think that might be pretty useless. I have got some bread with me, but I think it's more likely going to be soft pellet fishing, some corn, nice and bright, and probably maggot later on. I fished a match here last year when I ran a winter league, and there's no rush. You know, I've got time for a nice little McDonald's breakfast right now. I'm going to get there, do the draw. I ain't going to be rushing around to do anything, apart from fish for a few of them and hope for an early mugfish. What I remember from last year is that it come on really late. We're talking sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I went long, fishing maggot, blitzed the match, about £55 I think, and I think I only probably had about £10 up to the last hour or so. So no rush today. Finish my breakfast, make our way over there, see what's going on, see what the state of the lake's like. I reckon the bank's going to be a bit of a mess as well. So let's have a look. Well, as predicted, there's a little bit of a drop on. And it's rather coloured. I've drawn that one over there where the boards are. Okay. Here we are then, look, chocolate soup. So this is peg 8, slippy as hell, nearly broke my neck about 3 times. Now then, there's a load of water coming in up there. It also comes in where the end of the lake is, so you've got 2 channels of water, one here, one there, so there's a bit of a tow in it and it all goes on the overflow over there. What do I want to do? Well, if you look behind me, it's not easy to fish the pole. So I've actually not set it up. All I've gone for is a waggler rod, which I'll fish to the point of that island, or just sort of here. A tiny little method feeder, which I'll fish a bit further along the island. And then I've got a bomb set up as well. I might do a bomb and corn line. Nice bright baits, smelly baits, bait wise. Some expanders, 4 mils, some pinkies, micros, red and white maggots and some corn. I've also got some worms in there as well, that could work if I'm really, really struggling. Some smelly bait, maybe down the edge here or whatever. I might set the pole up later on, we'll see. But a match fishing a waggler could be quite nice. Just pinging some maggots out against the island. Rod and line match, yeah, why not? See how we go. It's only a knock up, there's only 8 of us. But let's see how we go. There's Big Rich down there. Right, let's see. Okay, let's see how this goes. Slippy as bugger, it all in. No. So what am I going to do? I'm going to throw some maggots there. I can just chuck my rod over that if I want. More importantly, I'm going to get some maggots by the island. We're not fishing on a dinner plate. Some bait over there. And then have a random bomb line with corn. I think down here. Let's put some corn down there and some micros. What should we start with? let's start with this tiny little 20 gram Preston's microfeeder. And this is just going on the end of that island. Perfect. Right, so we've had 15 minutes on that little method feeder. Not a bite, not a sausage. So time to look on the waggler against that island. I think this will work. So far I think one fish has been caught. A little skimmer one of the lads have had. So let's take a look here. I've got it clipped up. Just put double maggot on. I'm feeding maggot steady over there. And just the colour of the lake, it's dirty brown. Okay, that's settled. Just got 2 number 9s and a number 10 down the line, so it sinks nice and slow. Just flicking a sort of half a dozen maggots over the top. So we are an hour and a half in, and it's been shocking. Not had a bite on the waggler or the tip. Very, very few fish being caught. This colour's obviously a big problem. Anyway, it's forced me to settle the pole. Be a little bit more tidier. And I've had a small carp, about a pound. This makes me think my decision making was all wrong. I should have set the pole up anyway. Just fight with the rushes behind me, which is what I'm doing. I've had a tiny little rud as well. Just being a little bit tidier. So I've got a line here at sort of 11.5 metres. And then I've got a line at 16 metres towards the overhanging tree. Not tried there yet. I've actually been, that's my positive line. I've put a big pot of maggots in there. So there's 1 or 2 fish knocking about. Maybe they actually want a bit of bait, and I started too negative. Just trickling maggots in on the waggler wasn't enough. Need to be a little bit more on the spot. And I can see Dale over there is putting a big pot in. Mark's catching odd fish in that corner. He'll be fishing relatively positive. So rig wise, just 0.4 of a gram Guru Pinger float wire stem, because there's that little bit of a toe, so putting it a couple of inch on the bottom. Just a bulk with a couple of droppers, nothing major, just 1 rig. Not messing about today on a knock up. But it does make me think I slipped up in the start. I've wasted an hour and a half maybe. In saying that, there's not been a lot caught at all. There's been a couple of fish on the far side, a couple of bits and pieces here. So I've not got loads of catching up to do. Nobody's running away with it. A couple of pound seems to be winning. A little change to 16 metres towards that overhanging tree. So that little carp. About 10 ounce. I don't want to go overboard with the feed, so let's just have another look. It's rare that I fish 16 metres. I'm too lazy, or there's no requirement. There we go. But I think only the longer the better. So just sort of close to the overhanging branches as I can get with a
full length of pole. Got the extension there if needed, but it's hard work as it is. So let's see whether I can snare something else here. There's lift and drop. There's definitely 1 or 2 bubbles coming up over that feed. I've just been feeding half a pot of half a toss pot of maggot. So maybe sort of 30 maggots at a time. Little touch. There's a bite. Oh, what's that? Another small fish, I think. Got an 11 to 13 hollow in here. Just hard work breaking down twice. So it's rare that I ever fish this long. Another little carp maybe. It's a bit bigger. There we go. That's the best fish so far. A couple of pound. See if we can't pick him up. Little common. Lovely. Right, so sun's shining, and this 16 metre line, definitely a good move setting up the pole and fishing this and getting odd small carp. And by putting a worm on the hook, just seems to bring bites a little bit quicker. Still feeding maggots, just to get some flavour in the water. And the bites are really iffy, so it's a case of floats dotted right the way down and just hitting everything, even little lifts. Carp aren't big, sort of half a pound stamp. But again, I'm not seeing a great deal being caught at all. So this could be the way forward. I have had another look at that sort of 11.5 metre line. No bites there. I've refed that, just left it. I think it's just a case of nicking odd fish from off of this tree line. I'm surprised the waggler didn't work earlier on though. I was fishing fairly tight to that island, good depth, pinging maggots over the top. There's a bite, missed that. Yeah, it just seems that the pole's that little bit more cute and a bit more delicate, see the bites better. So I think we'll keep plugging away doing this. Right, so today has not panned out as I planned at all. We've got sort of 35 minutes to go on the match. I would normally be expecting to be getting a few bites now in the open water, but 2 lines that I started, not had a bite. I've had to go short. I've had a few more chucks on the feeder, cast the waggler around, nothing. The only place I can get the odd bite is 16 metres by these branches here. So I think for the last half an hour I may as well stick to what I know where I'm getting the odd bite. It looks like I can't put a run of fish together. Nobody is. It's just odd bites, odd fish. I've had 2 carp over £1, one about £2, one about £1, maybe half a dozen, 7 or 8 tiny little carp, 6-7 ounces a piece, a couple of tiny little rudd, that's it. Nowhere near double figures. And normally, you know, matches are £20-30. I say I had that 50 odd pound last year, but I think with all this rain gone in, chocolate water, it was always going to be tough. So I think I might just have to stick it out here now. Had odd fish on a little worm's head, maggot, and just hope for the odd bite. I think this is the only place I can get any indications, any bites. And they're normally just out of the blue. It's not like they're coming to the feed, or it's just the odd fish that's popping out from under the branches and having a little look around. There's a little touch, just a tiny little liner, there we go. Yeah, I think this is the way. We're just going to have to stick fish in this long line. They're only little fish, but always feels slightly better. Yeah. That was on double pinky. I think this is the way forward. Last half an hour, just stick doing this. It feels a bit bigger. Yeah, it's definitely a bit bigger. Feels a bit better, Jace, yeah? Yeah, definitely. Where's it going? Oh. There we go. Yeah, that's maybe £2. Yeah. That can go in the net, the big fish net. So normally you get 4 or 5 pounders, but that will do me nicely. Double pinky on the hook. You what, mate? Half an hour left, okay. I think that's it then, just stick to this for the last half an hour. This is the only place I can get any bites. See if we get a bite now, and if not, then I think next time we see each other we'll be at the weigh-in.
Well, match over, managed the win. Very, very tricky fishing. £15.6 I want to say that I had. So a couple of carp, maybe £1.5, £2, and the rest little tiny baby carp. I had to fish 16 metres. Good job I got the pole out, just wasn't going to get away with fishing rod and line today. So you could say the first hour and a half was wasted, but I know the way this place works. It doesn't kick in till after a couple of hours anyway. Maybe missed out on 1 or 2 mugfish. Not too sure. Second was only £7, so you can see how tricky it's fished. There was a £7, a £5, a £4. Just big fish didn't feed at all. It was all silvers or tiny little carp. So job done.